Okay, so number 1, it says if measure of angle 1 and 2 are complementary, solve for x. So the word complementary means that the angles add to 90 degrees. So measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 equals 90 degrees. And so what I'm going to do is just take these expressions, plug it into the equation. So measure of angle 1 is 27, measure of angle 2, 8x minus 1, put it equal to 90, and we'll solve for x. So 27 minus 1 is 26. Subtract 26 from both sides, 8x equals 64. Then divide by 8, and x equals 8. Okay, then number 5 over here, it says that OD is a segment bisector. OD right here, segment bisector. So it bisects the segment EC, so E to C right here, into 2 equal parts. So this is the same length as this. Then it says EO is 3x plus 7, so I will label that 3x plus 7. And then OC is 2x plus 12. Find the length of EC. So what I have to do here is find x, and then once I find x, I can plug it in to find this length, which I can double to get the whole length. I'm going to zoom in as well. Okay, so first thing to find x, I'm just going to wait for this to focus. To find x, I'm going to set these two equals since they're the same length to find x. So 3x plus 7 equals 2x plus 12. Subtract 2x from both sides. X equals 5. Okay, so we have x, but it wants to know the length of EC. So to start finding that, I need to plug in x here to find. So EO is 3x plus 7. So I can plug in the 5 for x. 3 times 5 plus 7. 15 plus 7 is 22. So EO right here is 22. And then these are the same length, so this is 22 as well. I could plug in x, but it'll come out to the same thing. And then it wants to know the length of EC, so 22 plus 22 is 44. So the answer to the length of EC is 44. Oh, thanks. Okay, then we're going to go down here. What is the perimeter of triangle ABD? So there's more information than we actually need right here. Triangle ABD is this. So we're trying to find the perimeter of this pink triangle. Perimeter is the length around the shape. So we can find the length of each side. So for these vertical and horizontal lines, we can just count units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So 5 plus 6 plus the length of this side. To find the length of this side, we could use distance formula between the 2 points, or you could use like Pythagorean theorem, sketching out a right triangle. This is 5 units by 6 units. So we can do 5 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared to find this length. So 25 plus 36 equals c squared. 25 plus 36 is 61. So square root of 61. So square root of 61 is this length here. Then to find the perimeter, we have to add these 3 numbers together. Square root of 61 in a calculator, all I would do is just 61, I'm typing in 61 and then using the square root button, and it comes out to 7.81. Then I add that to the other numbers. So 5 plus 6 plus 7.81 is 18.81. And then looking at my answer choices, B is the best answer. Okay, then over here, it says a triangle has a perimeter of 24 units. Two of the vertices are here. Which of these could be the third vertex of the triangle? Okay, so what we're going to do is you would use actually the graph paper. You'll have graph paper as scratch paper. We're just going to sketch out a graph here. Just try to make it as perfect as you can. So one of the points of the triangle are at 0, 0. And then another point is at 0, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Four, five, 6. I just went 10 in each direction, so I had something to work with. Okay, so it says it wants a triangle with a perimeter of 24 units. So it gives us these 2 points. So the length of this segment is just 6 units. This is where there's a couple different ways you could do it. You could go through each of these answer choices and see if it works. So for example, -8, 0, I'll go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. -8, 0 right here. This would create an 8 side, and then to find this length, you could use Pythagorean theorem, 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared, and it comes out to 10. Like, let's see, 36 plus 64, 100, and it comes out to 10. Let's see, 6 plus 8 plus 10 does equal 24. So the perimeter of that triangle is 24, so this is a correct answer. Oh, I didn't realize it was. Then let's see, 0, 8. 0, 8, that would not make even a triangle, so that's not a correct answer. Then 0, -8. Again, with this line, it wouldn't make a triangle, so that's not a correct answer. Then for this one, 8, 0, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, put a point here, and then connect here, then it would be 6, 8, 10 again, which 6 plus 8 plus 10 does equal 24. So it would make a triangle that has a perimeter of 24. So this is the correct answer. And then 18, 0 would be way out here, and it would be way too big, like it wouldn't make that perimeter. So that's not correct. I'd say that's the best way to do it. Just go through the answer choices and figure out which ones make a triangle with a perimeter of 24. Okay, the next one is a proof, but it's actually really simple. It didn't print very well, but it's really simple. It says, given angle F and G are right angles, and it shows that they are right angles, prove that they are congruent. Well, all right angles are congruent to each other, so that's where we're headed with this. Measure of angle F is 90 degrees because it's definitional of right angles. Then measure of angle F is equal to measure of angle G, transitive property, okay. Here it says measure, it's hard to see, equals measure of angle G. And then the next statement, it says angle F is congruent to angle G. If the measures are equal, then they're congruent. That's definition of congruence, is what they were looking for there. Okay, then the next one. For this one, it says QOS is 46. So I'm going to label that QOS, 46 degrees. Then POR is this part here, these two, 61 degrees. And then it says that POQ is 28 degrees. What is ROS. So it wants to know what this little angle is there. Okay, so we're gonna just solve this like a puzzle, just one piece at a time. I can find this angle because 61 minus 28 would be this. 61 minus 28 is 33 degrees. So I get 33 degrees for this angle. And then for the next one, trying to get color, I can do 46 minus 33 to get this. So 46 minus 33 gives me 13 degrees. So ROS is 13 degrees. Okay, the next one, we've seen this style of problem quite a bit. I can guarantee it'll be on the exam as well. It says the endpoints C, D are given below. Find the coordinates of the midpoint M. So C is at -8, -6. D is at -4, 10. It wants to know what the midpoint is. Okay, so to find the middle number, you could the middle of -8 and -4 is going to be -6. If you can see that, great. If you can't, or you second guess yourself, just add the two numbers and divide by 2. -12 divided by 2 is -6. You can get that number mathematically. Then for this, we need the middle of -6 and 10, so we can just add those two numbers and divide by 2. So we have 4/2, which is 2. So our answer here is -6, 2. You could also graph this to look at it and figure it out too. That would work as well. Okay, then number 8 over here, given the endpoints of CD are given below, find the length of CD. Okay, so we need to use distance formula. Distance formula is on the reference sheet. So on the reference sheet, which you'll have during the exam, it has distance formula right here. So I'm just going to copy that down right here. So distance formula is square root x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Then to use the formula, we need to label our points. First set of points x1, y1. Second set x2, y2. And then we'll plug the numbers into the equation. Minus 5 squared plus 12 minus -6 squared. -2 squared plus, add the opposite here, we get 18 squared. -2 squared is 4. 18 squared is 324. We get square root of 328. Then in the calculator, 328, and then I'm going to hit the square root button right here. It comes out to this number, so 18.1. Then I come over here and there's a lot of different answers and it says select all that apply. So it can be more than one answer. So, first thing I see is 18.1, which matches, so that is definitely a correct answer. Then to determine if the other ones are correct answers, what I'm going to do is just solve everything to a decimal and see if it comes out to the 18.1. So 328, which is one of our answers, is probably going to work. But just to be sure, 328 square root, I get that same answer. So that's a correct answer. Then 82 square root times 2, 18.11 again. So that works. 10, that is not equal to 18.1. No way. Square root of 28. Not equal to 8.1. 7 square root times 2. Nope. And then this, no. So it's just those three answers. Okay, and then flip it over. We're over halfway done. Okay, number 9 here, it says triangle ABC has these vertices. Complete the statement to classify triangle ABC. So in these answer choices here, it's like a drop down. Triangle ABC is either acute, obtuse, or right, or sorry, right triangle, right triangle. And then in this drop down, it's equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. So the way to figure this out would be to graph it. So on the test, you'll use actual graph paper where you can see like very specifically where everything lands, but we can figure it out just by graphing it on paper here. So I'm going to graph these 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I have to go to at least 7, 5, 6, 7. This I have to go to at least 6 for the y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, the next one there. Okay, so A is at 3, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's point A. B is at 0, 2. And then C is at 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 1. Okay, here is our triangle. Okay, so visually, I can see that this is not obtuse, like all the angles are acute angles. It doesn't have a right angle at either, so it's just an acute triangle. Like I said, if you graphed it on graph paper, it would be even more clear than that. And then whether it's equilateral, isosceles, or scalene, you'd have to find the length of each side. I can see right now it's not equilateral, like all the sides aren't the same length, so it's not that. It's either isosceles or scalene. And if you were to find the lengths of each side, it comes out to square root of 41 here, and then square root of 50, and then this is 5. So these three sides aren't the same length, so it's scalene. Then over here, given the endpoint of G and H, its midpoint is below. Find the coordinates of the missing endpoint. So for this, we have H is -3, 7. We don't know G, the endpoint, and we know the midpoint is -2, 5. And this is what we're trying to find. Okay, so we can look at the difference here. This is going down 1. So if we go up 1 in the other direction, then we'll get this coordinate, which is -1. Here it's up 2 to get to this coordinate, so we can go down 2 to get here. And then this is our answer. Okay, next. Here it says in the image, measure of angle BOC is 51 degrees, so I'll label that 51 degrees. And AOC is this, so from A to C is 14x minus 25, AOC. Okay, it says solve for x. So what I notice is that these two angles, AOC and then this angle, form a straight angle right here. So these two things add up to 180. So I can set it up like that to solve. So 51 plus 14x minus 25 equals 180 degrees, and I can use that to solve for x. 14x plus 26 equals 180. 180 minus 26 is 154. Divide that by 14, and it comes out to x equals 11. So that is the answer. Okay, then this one over here puts together a couple different skills. So it's a little tricky, but I'll show you exactly what to do if you get something like this. It says, what is the area in square root units of the right triangles? This right triangle here. the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So for a right triangle, like this is base and this is height. And so you multiply those two dimensions, divide by 2, and you'll get the area of the triangle. So this triangle here, like this is base and this is the height. So we need to find this length and we need to find this length. Multiply those two numbers together and divide by 2. Okay, so one step at a time, we need to find the length of RS. So RS, and we have to use the distance formula. So x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay. Then plugging in numbers, -5 minus -8 squared plus 4 minus 7 squared. You get 3 squared (9 plus 9). So I got square root of 18. So that's RS, square root of 18. Just trust the process. I know square root's not pretty, but it comes out even at the end, so just trust the process. Then we need to find the length of ST, so that way we can multiply those two numbers and divide by 2. So the length of ST, using the same formula here, call this x1, y1. Leave that as x2, y2. -5 minus -3 squared plus 4 minus 6. Add the opposite here, we get -2 squared plus -2 squared, 4 plus square root of 8. So my length here is square root of 8. Then my last step is to plug it into the formula for area. Area is 1/2 the base square root of 8, the height square root of 18. When you multiply square roots like this, you could put it all in the calculator if you wanted to. 8 times 18 is 144, so you can say that this is square root of 144. Square root of 144 is just 12, because 12 times 12 is 144. So you're doing like half of 12, which is 6. And 6 is the final answer to the area of that triangle. Okay, we're getting toward the end. We're almost done. The next one looks big and scary, but it's actually not asking you for a lot. There's a lot of steps, but all it's asking for is what to put in this blank and then what to put in this blank. And you don't have to solve anything or anything, it's just what to put in those blanks. So in the given, it says WZ is perpendicular to WX. So these two are perpendicular. The next step, it says that XWZ is a right angle. Well, if these are perpendicular, then yes, it would form a right angle. That's because of definition of perpendicular. And then the next reason is angle addition postulate. So for this, they're solving for x and then the angle measure. So what you need is angle addition. You need to know that this plus this equals the whole angle. That's angle addition. So for angle addition, it's measure of angle XWY plus YWZ equals measure the whole thing. Measure of angle XWZ. And that's angle addition. Okay, then number 12 here. It says measure of angle 1 is 3x minus 3. Measure of angle 5, 7x plus 23. What is the value of x if L is parallel to M? Well, if these are parallel, then all these angles are either equal or supplementary. I look at angle 1 and 5. One's acute, one's obtuse. So these are supplementary. So we can say 3x minus 3 plus 7x plus 23 equals 180. Combine my like terms. Subtract 20 from both sides. 10x equals 160. And I get x equals 16. If they asked for the angle measure, I would have to plug it back in to find the angle, but they didn't ask for that. Okay, the last one is pretty easy as well. Okay, the last one here, it says ABC was transformed into DEF using rigid motions. Put a check mark in the appropriate box to identify the corresponding sides and angles. Okay, so it's just looking for matching parts. But be careful because it's kind of hard to tell from the picture. So I would definitely recommend using the statement. So remember, this order here has to do with this. So like the first two letters AB go with DE. So AB goes with DE, or AB is congruent to DE, and you can check that there. Last two letters BC goes with EF. BC goes with EF. Then CA, so first and last, goes with DF. CA goes with DF. And then same for angles as well. The first letter A goes with D. So A is congruent to D. Then the second letter B goes with E. And then the third letter C goes with F. So that would go here. Okay, that is all. So, leave this out so I can come around and give you credit for it. At this point, you can do whatever you need to do. So you can get your phones to study or like, yeah, whatever you want to do. Yes.